Well, that could have ended very differently. But fortunately, only one person was hurt. At this point, these protests have gone national. In fact, let me pull up the map for you. New York, Chicago, Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, Denver, Las Vegas, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Seattle, Boston, and Washington, D.C. All these cities have reported anti-ICE protests. Take a look. Will they turn this into a national mobilization issue? Or will they take a step back? Yesterday's curfew order suggests some discomfort. They don't want to be seen as promoting violence and riots. Plus, some of these states are Republican. They will follow Trump's crackdown. In Texas, for example, the National Guard has been deployed. They will not tolerate public unrest. The second factor is what happens in California. Despite the violence, ICE has not stopped. They raided multiple locations in California yesterday, and the locals will not like this. You see, California is a state known for its immigrants. Foreign-born people make up 27% of the state's population. That's almost double the national rate. And these include all kinds of people. Maybe workers at the local grocery store, or the guy who built your house, or the IT professionals in Silicon Valley, all the way to Hollywood actors in LA. Migrants are integrated and respected in California, which is why Trump's policy has invited such anger. If the raids continue, so will the anger. Clearly, the situation calls for calm and non-partisan thinking. But it doesn't look like the US has either. We mentioned two factors here, but there's actually a third one too, and that is misinformation. There has been so much fake news about Los Angeles, it has only added to the confusion. Now, it's impossible to debunk all the misinformation out there, but we'll show you the most popular ones. Like this post that shows a bunch of bricks, nothing else, just a random pile of bricks. And what is the claim? That George Soros dropped them off near ICE buildings. It's an old conspiracy theory. The suggestion is that Soros is arming rioters with bricks. Now, we have no love lost for George Soros, but in this case, this is false. This picture is actually from a Malaysian construction site. The next post was pushed by a US Senator, Ted Cruz, from Texas. He posted pictures of a violent riot in Los Angeles, but turned out
this is day 7th of the protest.
George Floyd protests
it's very early in the morning, so not much action going on.
Yet he has not taken down that post.
What's going on in the news?
The next one has got more than 2 million views. And what does this one say?
Have expanded
that Mexico
to other
is planning
cities.
a military intervention in Los Angeles. Needless to say, this is fake. Mexico has only called for peaceful demonstrations.
You gotta watch out what you hear and read on social media, because there is a lot of misinformation, a lot of bullshit out there.
It says US Marines arrested their commander in California. Why?
People
because he was planning to disobey Trump's order. Now, this post has been seen
with artificial intelligence
times. It has been
AI,
reposted more than 8,000 times. But again, it is false.
Trick people.
No such arrest has been made by the Marines.
And people are easily
tricked. They're very
tricked.
much complying with the president's order.
Don't be a sheep.
And now to the final example. This one was posted by a prominent anti-Trump handle. It shows a helicopter flying over Los Angeles, and that too, an attack helicopter. But here's the truth. This video is at least 3 days old.
There is a protest planned, organized, called No Kings Protest this weekend.
And the Marines were deployed
it's going to be large.
On the 9th of June.
It's planned
so this
across
helicopter
the
was
nation
not part
in major
of the crackdown.
cities
It could
and
be
everywhere.
A drill. It could also be a video
that
game.
has expanded to Europe and other parts of the world.
All these claims were seen thousands of times on the internet. They were widely shared and reposted. In fact, the riots began due to such rumors. Locals in a place called Paramount spotted ICE agents in their area. They spread rumors of raids in nearby
over
businesses,
here on the East Coast.
Home Depot. That is what triggered the mobilization and violence. But again, this was not true. Yes, raids did happen in some parts of Paramount, but not at that Home Depot. The fact is, America was primed for this violence and misinformation. Extreme polarization, check. Relaxed fact-checking rules, check. And
this
massive
feed is live at the
usage,
Federal
check.
Building.
This
It is
country
early
is
in the
already
morning in
divided along
California.
party lines. The
Here on the East
Republicans and
Coast,
the
it's
Democrats have
10:30.
no trust in
On
each
the West
other.
Coast, it's
And when
3
that happens,
hours
you are on a
behind.
slippery slope already. You may believe anything
7:30.
you hear. You want to believe anything you hear.
Very early.
Experts say technology has made it worse. For example, look at what's happening on X. A lot of people are tagging Grok
This is
on
the
certain
7th
posts.
day of the
They're
protests.
asking the XAI Grok to verify the claims or videos. But Grok is getting things wrong. Take a look at this fact check on Grok. It says
This
the
is what
earlier
I'm talking
helicopter
about. You
video
got to
is
be
from June
careful, even
9,
with
though we have
AI. AI is
confirmed
not
that it's
perfect.
at least a day older. The problem is AI is not built on facts. AI is built on data. Right now, every book, every website says the sun rises in
AI
the
is built
east.
on
So
pulling
AI will
data
also give
from
you
the
the same
internet.
information that the sun rises
Not
in
all
the east.
information on the
But what if
internet
you
is
rewrite the
accurate.
books to say that the sun rises in the west?
Be
Well,
careful,
then
my friends.
AI will follow suit. And this is the problem with our digital age. I'm afraid there is no easy solution. There are
The
millions
real
of
action
fake
is going to
news
happen
pieces
this
on the
weekend.
internet. It is impossible for anyone to verify all of them. That does not mean that we give up on fact checking. We must force social media firms to invest in independent fact checkers. But until then, stay vigilant. Do not believe everything that you see on the internet, and when in doubt,
Amen.
ignore.
Thank
Do not
you.
forward.
Do not fall for the traps.
Last week, Donald Trump and Elon Musk were fighting. This week, they're making up. Elon Musk has posted once again on X. He says he regrets some of his posts on Donald Trump. Musk
Elon,
believes
come
that he
on
went too
now.
far.
You said what you
So
said.
what are
Can't
these
be unsaid.
posts that he regrets? The Tesla CEO did not specify. Remember, this is the same man who was calling for Trump's impeachment. Now, suddenly, it sounds like he wants to be back on the team. So what happened here? Is it the riots in Los Angeles?
There was a
Is it
lot
the
happening in
collapse
Seattle
in
last
Tesla
night. I was
stocks?
trying to find a
Or
feed,
are
but
the
I could not
$38
find
billion
it. But
in
from
government
video
contracts
and
changing
post,
Elon
looks
Musk's
like they
mind? Our next report
gathered
tells you.
outside the federal building.
Come on up here, Elon.
They were
He
burning
created
dumpsters,
the first major
and there was a lot of
American car
interaction
company in
between
generations, and his rocket
protesters
company
and
is the only
Not
the
very long
police in
ago,
that area.
Elon Musk and Donald Trump seemed like two halves of the same chaotic
It
coin.
was pretty chaotic.
Take over, Elon. Just take it.
One launched rockets, the other launched executive orders. They were inseparable, so much so, Elon Musk got the title of First Buddy. Elon Musk backed Trump's re-election bid
Make
with
sure you
his
guys
deep
stay tuned
pockets.
for more live
Trump
streams,
returned the
watch
favor
alongs
by
this
offering
weekend. There
him
are
a
more
government
fan
department
protests,
to
and they're going
cut
to be
costs.
larger than last weekend. They're organizing this week. This week has been
It was
pretty
like nothing
chaotic
could ever
too.
go wrong.
Yesterday as
Yet,
well,
like
last
all
night,
great love
late
stories,
into the
this
night.
one too ended in
That's
some
when it
bitter
gets a
social
little bit
media posts.
crazier.
The fight was so nuclear and personal, it left Washington, D.C. in shock. Elon Musk accused Trump of hiding Epstein files. Trump threatened to kneecap Musk's empire by pulling billions in government contracts.
President, you posted yesterday that where to save money, to cancel some of Musk's contracts. How seriously are you considering that?
Well, we'll take a look at everything. I look at everything. There's a lot of money that gives a lot of subsidy. So we'll take a look at that.
Trying to bring you the best accurate streams possible that are going around right now. It's still very early, so it's very
Tesla
quiet.
stocks cratered.
Later
Cable
this
news
evening,
feasted on this. And then,
I'll be
this
streaming
week,
as
came the
well.
whiplash. Elon Musk, in a new
When
post
the
on
sun
X,
goes
says
down,
he regrets some of his posts on Trump. This is the same man who just days ago had called for Trump's impeachment. Now, he says he went too far. So, what happened between last week's flamethrower posts and this week's polite walkback? Was it the riots in Los Angeles? The collapsing Tesla stock? Or
I
is it
was
just
enjoying the
another
back and
Wednesday in
forth between
Muskland?
Elon Musk posts and
To
Trump.
understand how we got here, we need to
Sucks
rewind.
that they
One big, beautiful bill.
It started with a bill, Trump's one big, beautiful bill. A
It was
package of
getting real
tax
spicy
cuts and
online.
spending hikes that would add billions to America's ballooning debt. Elon Musk denounced the bill's fiscal recklessness. Things were still okay when he criticized the bill. But Musk took it one step further, implying that Trump's administration had buried evidence linking him to Jeffrey Epstein. The White House dismissed the claims. But Trump responded with his favorite weapon, vengeance. He publicly floated cutting off Musk's government contracts. That is, contracts worth $38 billion. And then came the moment every CEO dreads.
I don't know how
Wall
you
Street
guys
took
feel
notice of
about
this.
the
Tesla stock plunged
military
14%
parade this
in a single
weekend.
day. Which brings us to Musk's
That's what
apology.
a lot of the protests
To be
are also
clear,
going to be
he didn't say
about
sorry.
this weekend,
Well,
called
not
No
exactly.
Kings, No
He
Kings
just said some of
protests.
his posts went too far. Which ones? That he didn't say? What we do know is that Musk began quietly deleting the more radioactive posts. He also wrote, "Cool."
Sorry, guys. Bear with me. It's a
to a
little bit
video of
laggy.
Vance speaking, and he is echoing the administration's posts on Los Angeles. He is backing Trump's moves to deploy troops after anti-immigration raids sparked riots. Of course, Trump noticed. When asked about Musk, he offered a surprisingly magnanimous answer.
I really don't know. I don't think so. I hope not. Look, I wish him well. You understand. We had a good relationship, and I just wish him well. Very well, actually.
Good morning, everyone.
Well, I don't want to say that, but, but I would imagine he'd want to talk to me.
That, right there, is the key. Because Trump no longer needs Musk. Between his crypto fundraising empire, his booming base, and a Republican Party firmly in his grip, Trump has leverage. Musk, on the other hand, does not.
Give me a second here as I'm working with the stream.
If you live in India, here's a quick question. Have you ever tried ordering food online?
Give me 1 second. The internet is being really shitty right now.
Tomato. Together, they rule the game. They dominate the market that's only getting bigger and hungrier. But
All right, almost complete here. Just doing some changes.
low cost and transparent. The question, of course, is subsidized delivery costs and restaurants exorbitant spending on ads, lack of customer data, and skew. Every day they log 3 to
There we go.
3.5 million rides, so they will not have to start from scratch. Plus, they've got some fresh funding, so money and logistics won't be a problem. And they're into
So the top right
servicing
feed
the
is
whole
live from the
country,
Federal
not
Building
just
in
urban
downtown Los
areas.
Angeles.
They're asking restaurants to list at least 4 meals under 150 rupees. Why? Because millions of Indians rely on affordable food delivery. So this is a populist move. But while all of this sounds great on
Just checking if there's anything going on right now. I know it's early in the morning, especially over there in California. A lot of people were out protested last night till late, probably 3 in the morning, possibly even later. You know, it's pretty quiet right now. Trying to find some local news to see what are the updates or what are the plans for today. There's a lot of repeat videos out there. See if anything's going on with ABC 7 Los Angeles. They might have some updates for us.
I mean, Pride is everything. The first Pride was
There's a Pride
protests,
parade
and
planned
every
this
Pride
weekend that's
thereafter
gonna probably merge
continues
with
to be a
the
protest against an
ICE
inequitable system.
protest, so that might
I
get a
think
little
Pride is
hectic
about
this weekend.
celebrating disability,
All,
unity, and the ongoing fight
and
for
the No
equity.
Kings
So,
protest, so it's kind of
especially
like
in
3
today's climate,
protests
I think
in
you look at
one
the
this
events
weekend.
like the No King protests on June 14th, and just everything that's going on. It's clear that many in our community are feeling unsafe and they're feeling unheard.
So
And I
yeah,
think that
there's a lot
Pride
of
just
things going
reminds
on
us
here
that
in the
we all
United
play a
States right now.
role
That's why
in
people are
building a more equitable and
watching
safe
from all over the
future.
world, paying
And
attention.
that's what we're trying to do in
There's
Hermosa
also
Beach. We
protests
try to
going on
make
in other parts of the
people
world.
feel that they're heard and understood and safe, and they have a place where they belong right here in Hermosa Beach.
Let's talk about that No King protest. We are expecting several demonstrations this weekend, of course,
This
for
right
the
here,
No
listen
King's
to
Day of
this.
Defiance and more protests over the ongoing ICE raids. Are there any concerns that all of this could impact the parade?
There's definitely a few concerns, but I think at the heart of it all, we're all fighting for a similar thing, and that's equity in the system. So we'll see. I think regardless, we're a really small beach town and we invite all to come. So whoever shows up, shows up. I think it's gonna be a great time regardless. And we're here we're available for anyone that needs a safe space.
Can you elaborate a little bit on the working relationship that you have with local authorities, law enforcement, to keep everybody
Yes, of
safe,
course.
and of course the city as well, to make sure that all of these celebrations go off the way that they should?
Yeah, so we're always in communication with Hermosa Beach Police Department, especially the chief. They're fully aware of all the events taking place throughout the weekend. The city is also aware and actually participants in this. So we have no concerns. We feel very safe here. So, yeah.
What are you looking forward to the most? I know that this isn't your first rodeo.
It's not my first rodeo. Funny
Got
enough,
my
when I
big
first moved to
24 ounce
Hermosa
of
Beach,
coffee.
that week was the first ever Hermosa Beach Pride. So it's funny seeing 5 years later that
First cup of the
I'm
day.
here. So fun. I think just generally the sense of community is what makes it all worth it. So I'm really just excited to feel that. Obviously, the drag show is one of my favorites, but it's the sense of community. That's what I'm looking forward to.
And real quick, where can people find more information?
You can go on our website, HB Pride.
Out. That's going to be the place to be. Looks very fun. All
Thank
right. Well,
you.
thank you so much. Now we want to take a live look outside at LAX. Of course, a little marine layer going on there. We're just days away from the weekend, and many of us have outdoor plans. Brianna Ruffalo is here with a check of the forecast. Brianna, any changes coming up? A warm up?
So there's some breaking news overnight in New York.
I don't think we're going to
8
feel much of the difference until we get
NYPD
to
vehicles
Sunday,
inside a
because
fence police lot
tomorrow
at the
and
Central
Saturday we're
and
warming up about a
DeKalb
degree
Avenue,
or
83rd
degree
Precinct in
each
Brooklyn,
day. It might even be
caught
cooling a
fire
degree
around
tomorrow,
1:30
depending
in
where
the
you
morning.
are. And then
Firefighters
Sunday we're expected
extinguished
to
the blaze
warm a
quickly.
few
No injuries
degrees.
were
So not
reported.
extremely noticeable.
Investigators
Look, it's
believe
already
the
been
fires
really,
were
really
deliberately
warm if you're
set.
inland. And so it's still going to be very warm on Sunday as well. So you might notice Sunday will
That is
just be
8
a little
NYPD
warmer than it
vehicles
has
inside a
been. And then we
fence
do have a cool
police
down we'll
lot
talk about
that
in
were
just a
set
moment.
ablaze
Deeper
fire
marine
last
layer
night.
this morning, and so we have a little bit more in the way
That
of
is
some
something
fog
new that
too. So that's going
happened
to
here on the
cause a little
East
difference
Coast
in
in
low
New York.
visibilities for some areas. I hit some in northern San Fernando Valley this morning, and so it just depends where you are, but you can tell a lot of cloud coverage all the way into the foothills, where we could even be getting a little bit of drizzle. There's enough moisture and lift there. And then all the way
And
out
in
to the
other
Inland
news, there's
Empire
boxing
too.
this weekend. I
Most
also
areas
stream
cool.
watch-alongs,
Anaheim
boxing,
65,
UFC,
Fullerton
MMA,
64. There's
karate
a couple
combat,
areas
one
like Ontario as
championship.
well, 64 degrees. You may not require a sweater, but that great time of year for layers, because it is cool and cloudy to start for most. And then as we get into the afternoon, it does warm up. So we have 60s through the 7 o'clock hour, 70 by midday if you're in Los Angeles, and then later today getting up to about 81. 7 p.m. tonight, really beautiful still. We'll be close to 70 degrees. Not too many changes you can see here on our satellite. We're just dealing with a little bit of cloud coverage, and we, again, probably won't notice many differences until we get into about Sunday. So we're going to hang on to similar features until we head into this weekend. A ridge starts to build from the east, and as it does, our temperatures will warm here. And so compared to 81 today, we'll be up to about 85 degrees for downtown LA by Sunday.
All right, what's up, everyone? It's early morning here on the East Coast. Just looking to see any updates this morning on the protest, any information that is happening. There are planned protests this weekend. Make sure you guys stay tuned to that. Let me see. This was from. Let me see this really quick. This was from the other night. But there is a lot of footage. Like you just can't watch it all in one stream as well. I mean, there's just different angles and different views from all different uh, people that are out there. Not everyone is live streaming. Some people are just recording and then uploading the footage later on and sending that to media outlets. Looks like they're getting rid of some of the graffiti around the federal building there. Power washing it away. See if there's any highlights from last night. Alright guys, good morning. It's early morning here. I'm on my first cup of coffee. Just looking for updates, any streams that are happening, updates from last night, breaking news. Just trying to stay up to date on everything that's going on. There's planned protests nationwide called the No Kings protest, protesting against the military parade and this is the 7th day, or today will be the 7th day. This is a pre-recording. Let me see what's going on. I already saw that one. The top right is live though at the federal building. Got the National Guards there, stationed there to help protect. They haven't really been out in the streets at all. Last night, though, I did see a SWAT vehicle rolling with the cops, and that got pretty interesting. Saw a few people get arrested, clash with the police. This is the famous, right there, that famous image of that guy standing on top of that car. That's been going viral. That's where they burnt those driverless vehicles, the Waymos or whatever they're called, that they got out there in California. I've never even heard of those until I watched the stream and people were talking about it. There was about 4 of them that they lit on fire. It's still early in the morning, so it's pretty quiet, especially in the West Coast. People are still sleeping. Let's see what's going on here. So yeah, the protests are definitely spreading. Seattle is a new city, new protest stream that I found that was, pretty significant. And then also in Texas, something's going on in New York and also Florida, Chicago.
Capitalism comes for all of us. It is already in overdrive. There is state-controlled media, internet censorship, rampant disinformation, surveillance, harassment, even arrests. So what could Xi Jinping possibly do more? If you think that he's run out of ideas, well, think again. The Chinese propaganda playbook has another weapon in its arsenal.
Yeah, China's crazy with their surveillance.
China wants to outsource propaganda. It
their
wants
control on their
influencers to do
citizens
what
is
they do best:
ridiculous.
influence.
I would never
this
want
time,
it to get like
do
that
it in
here.
China's favor.
That'd be crazy.
And the plan is already in place. The Chinese government is organizing an influencer junket. They're inviting young social media influencers to visit China. They have launched a recruitment drive, and certain criteria must be met. The influencers must be American. They must love Chinese culture, quote unquote, and have at least 300,000 followers. Needless to say, they must be active on social media, on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and X. Now remember, most of these apps are banned in China. But that won't matter because the content is not for Chinese citizens. It is for the rest of the world, especially the Western world. Tensions are deteriorating, or rising rather, between Washington and Beijing. Trade, tech, geopolitics, everything seems to be caught in the crossfire. So President Xi is focusing on soft power, on influence via social media. Hence the fancy influencer junket. It will be an all-expenses-paid 10-day trip. Participants will visit multiple Chinese cities. They will visit the headquarters of Chinese companies like BYD. They will visit the Great Wall, of course. They will partake in cultural activities. All they have to do is live stream all of this, make vlogs, click selfies, and show people the quote-unquote real China. Not the human rights abuses, not the repression, the other real China. And let me tell you, China is not new to this game. Over the past few years, Beijing has cultivated a network of influencers with millions of followers from the US, Russia, the Czech Republic, and Israel. Also from ethnic minority communities like Tibetans, and most of all from Taiwan.
Tuscan, Arizona as well. I guess yesterday there was protests against ICE.
And it is almost always the same story.
Valencia and Country Club.
The influencers get an invite, the flights are paid for, they land in China, they
There's
get the red
footage of
carpet
that
treatment,
too.
they're
Oh
hosted
shit.
by the government
Things
or by
got a little
Chinese
hectic there
companies.
too.
Sometimes they collaborate with brands, sometimes they have to perform.
Looks like the police are
sometimes they enjoy the cultural experience.
spraying some red spray, look what pepper spray
China.
or something in the video of the clash.
And they get paid big bucks for it. The details usually remain
But it's
hidden
just
from
a
public
short.
knowledge. But as per reports, Taiwanese influencers have earned more than $300,000 a year. Because this is China's influencer diplomacy. It helps them shape the global narrative and change negative opinions. This is much softer than China's usual gray zone intimidation. It is both shady and smart. But like most things Chinese, it is not original. Influencer diplomacy is used all over the world, in fact. It is called polyphonous communication. I know it sounds complicated, but it simply means inauthentic media campaigns which can expand global influence and
That guy's been
control
standing
narrative
out all
abroad.
morning in the with
Last
that
year, the Maldives
flag.
tried this.
He's
After
been there a
tensions
while.
rose with India, their leaders made derogatory comments against India, so Indian tourists began boycotting the
Who is that
Maldives.
guy?
And Mali decided to control the damage by inviting Indian influencers. North Korea is at it too. Last year, they invited influencers from Russia. It was Kim's diplomatic gesture for his BFF, Putin. And none of this is surprising. Influencers are no longer just
Besties.
baking banana bread or shooting YouTube videos from their bedrooms. They are now a $30 billion economy, the influencer economy. They're
All right,
shaping
let's see
public
what's
opinion,
going
and they
on.
seem to have opened a new frontier in
Any
propaganda wars.
updates?
After all, in a capitalist world, everyone needs marketing.
See, National Guard deployed to the Los Angeles protest. Protests erupted in Los Angeles over ICE raids. What happened to the feed? All right, give me a second. All right, I'm gonna have to restart the stream here. Having some issues here.